calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran's off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. You're checking 12, we'll check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 star, take your shots.
Office still stands for time? No. Offender in custody? Thanks. Anyone else close, point to 0, let me know. First number. 10-4.
Alright, the ET doesn't take pictures of the domestic related. She's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran's off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. You're checking 12, we'll check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 star, take your shots.
Office still stands for time? No. Offender in custody?
We're finally back. We're finally back. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. $250,000 reward, y'all. Let's find this young man. Crazy. I want to say prayers to all of the Los Angeles area that's going through those wildfires right now. I even seen some things going around on Twitter where there's people deliberately setting fires out there. Don't understand it. The fact that the fire hydrants couldn't even have water in it. Like, what the hell's going on with that? No water in the fire hydrants? Not allowed? I don't know. It's a local issue. What the hell is going on with this world, man? So prayers to all those out there. I've been hearing a lot of the stories about how people's homeowners insurance were abruptly canceled out of the blue for no reason recently, and people were in the transition of that process. I mean, you know, I thought we had it bad. We lost power. Well, first we lost internet. We lost internet Sunday. We lost internet on Sunday. Sunday evening, we lost power. It's been a hell of a place over here, I'll tell you that. We got hit really hard with the ice storm. There's still, I mean, you go down side streets, there's still trees all over the roads. We just got internet back. We got power back Monday. We were without internet until yesterday. Then, or yeah, I think it was yesterday. It might have been the night before. I thought it was. It's been cold as hell. But we got it back for about a day. It was sitting at like 5 to 10 megabytes per second. If anybody knows the internet speeds, that ain't nothing. You can't even run a program with those speeds. And it was cutting out all the time too. Understandable. People, you know, they're still doing repairs here. There was still house fires going on, even as of yesterday, from limbs and trees falling from the ice, creating fires. So a lot of fires that were happening. Thankfully, you know, me and baby Angel were safe. Thankfully, we just had to deal without power for a little bit and without internet for a few days. But there was some stuff with the trees on this property that still have to be worked out. But we're okay. We're safe. And I just got to say extra prayers to the people out there in Los Angeles, because man, you see the footage up above. You see looking down, and like it's just You see property lines, and that's about it, because everything else is gone. So, man, and I really feel bad for him too. When I heard there was a local issue, according to the governor, when it came to fire hydrants not having water in them. I mean, isn't that what they're for? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel bad for y'all. So extra prayers for everybody out there. I just don't understand the world these days. Even out here in these true crime streets, man. I was watching a lot of stuff on my phone, um, and notifications going off left and right, and you see a lot of the them versus them, and this side versus this side, and I don't know, man. It's like it's sad to think about it because and part of it is what we're going to be going into tonight. Okay. Now, some of it is just from people's attention spans being very minimal and kind of believing everything that they saw. I mean, there was even a video that was out today about how law enforcement automatically were on the abduction theory based off of what Jennifer Coffindaffer said last night about the lights video. And that's one of the things we're going to be getting into. Now, we've already done some shows on it and we broke it down. I put a community post out. I haven't heard from TBI. If anybody sent out a letter to TBI of the community post that we put up last week with all those questions based off of all those statements. Now, part of the reason is because there's been so many statements that are different, inconsistencies. So part of it is because of that. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I don't understand, when I was watching last night's show over at Jaykoff's. Katrina says, I sent to all three, got nothing back. I mean, we showed in the video, this is where we got the information. This is the date of the information. This is who said this information. These are all statements based off of everything that they stated in all these different statements. And so it's going to create a lot of confusion already, right? Just based off of the statements that have came out from people in the investigation. It's already going to create confusion. The fogginess of some of the statements creates the confusion, or I should say contributes to the confusion. It's a whole stew that creates that confusion, and part of it was last night. I was in that show last night of Jaykoff's, and I was a little disappointed, to be honest with you, because it really came off to me like somebody was reading notes that was written for them from an intern. And the reason that I say that is because when you're listening to the facts, it wasn't all facts. And it had to be towards the beginning of the show, when the whole light video became a topic. When the whole light video became a topic, and how... Now listen, When it came to the conclusion was abduction. I've been saying abduction since May. You guys know that. Based off of everything that I put together. All the different, the ways we were searching, where we were searching, based off of how evidence goes and where it normally would lead you. So I've been saying the abduction thing since May. But when it came to the light video, yes, there's so many videos that you could find of us saying, yeah, the light video is suspicious. One of the houses, 1010 on Kellen Lane, should have video. I've showed everybody the footage from back then, weeks after he went missing, showing people the different camera angle that 1010 Kellen Lane had at that T section of Kellen and Stafford compared to Google, and how when Google it shows you it's looking at the camper, totally different direction. But when Sebastian went missing, 1010 had their camera focused on that T section. When it comes to the live video, because according to last night's show, in the beginning, it was stated this is not what I'm thinking. This is not my, this is all of what, this is according to them, beginning of the show. This is all what law enforcement has stated. This is just a law enforcement show. And so I was like, okay. So when I start hearing the light video and how, yes, do I think he was abducted? Yes, I've been saying it since May. What does law enforcement say? And this is what I was saying in the chat. Law enforcement stated that the light video holds no evidentiary value when it comes to the missing persons case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Do I think that's BS? 50-50, because it's already hard to see, right, without having the video that law enforcement has, because again, we're looking at somebody's phone recording of a small section of the video. It's not even the whole raw video. The raw video is going to have clearer images than somebody's cell phone recording of another video off of a screen. What's up, Kelsey? Everybody else, thank you for hopping in. So we don't know what that shows, okay? But what we do know is them stating that there's no foul play, and them stating that that light video holds no evidentiary value when it comes to the missing persons case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So that's when I started saying, okay, I got you. You're XLE. But if you're going off of law enforcement, why are we promoting that there's, okay, yes, there is suspicious. Did law enforcement say it was suspicious? No, law enforcement said it holds no value. So if it doesn't hold any value, okay, and there's no foul play, because isn't it abduction foul play? Yes, it is. Again, have I thought it's been abduction since May? Yes, I have. Do I think no foul play is a smoke screen? I think it's, I'll put it this way, not necessarily a smoke screen, but I think it's plausible deniability. One of the reasons why we're going into tonight's show about what we're talking about, the dispatch audio, plausible deniability. We don't know because we didn't look into it. Okay? Now, when it comes to the landfill search, does it look like they obtained a warrant to do a real search? You know what I think it was? Hey, is it cool if we just come, hey, landfill up in Kentucky? Is it cool if we just come walk around for a little bit and kind of look through some things? Because look at it. Why would they not have sent a search team that had hazmat suits, right? Because these other searches out in landfills, right, have a grid pattern. They have hazmat suits. It's a real search. You know what I'm saying? So when we've brought up this from the whole time when we were showing you guys the video in the very beginning and how they didn't even have, some of them didn't even have the blue latex gloves, but otherwise that's all they had. They were wearing their regular coats, their pants. They were walking in groups, just kind of lifting up, little things here and there, not really digging. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have bins that you could go put stuff in to sift through and all this other stuff. There was none of that. It was just a bunch of people, some people not even searching, a bunch of people standing in little groups around here and there, just kind of lifting up some things here and there. Do I think it was a real search? No, I don't think it was a real search. Do I think it was a search that needed, let's be honest, should it have had, a warrant and all these other things, probable cause, Yes. But you know what I think it was? Hey, little brother north of us up in Kentucky, can you do us a favor? We got a missing kid down here. Now the trash truck guy said it was a little heavier than usual. Is it okay if we just walk around and just kind of take a look around? Look, we're not trying to open up a huge search, shut you down. We're not trying to do any of that. We're just trying to see if, can we just come, just take a quick look, pick up a couple things, we'll be out of your hair. Just a very small section. That's it. That's what I think took place. So when it comes to these facts or non-facts, because let's be honest, if you're ex FBI, then you should be able to dig into more information than what we can as the general public, right? Because even though you're retired, you still have connections. Even though you're retired, you still have clearances, I would imagine. All these different things. So why are we promoting the light video if it's in law enforcement show as the lights being an abduction? Well, I think it's an abduction. Well, so do I. And I thought it was an abduction before the light video we were looking into. I thought it was after we were got done doing searches in May. And I'm like, nothing makes sense. Because if he really did walk out of this home, there would have been something by now. There's too many boots on the ground. There was too many boots on the ground. Too many. And when you're talking about that terrain, and you're talking about the brush and just all of the stuff that's out there, if he really did walk away, he wouldn't have got very far, because his feet would have hurt like a MF. It's one thing to walk in grass. It's another thing to be plopping your feet, if you don't have shoes on, through mud, cold mud, and then in brush and vines and pokers and all these different things. Just, I wasn't wearing tennis shoes out there. Why? I was wearing boots out there. There's a reason I was wearing boots. The reason I was wearing boots is because of the environment. Because if you're going to walk a distance, you got to protect your feet, especially out in those woods. It's thick and it's sharp. So when we're done and we're even looking in water, we were looking in water like, somebody had taken somebody somewhere. That's right, Busby. Them damn bushes will attack you. And after that, it was just like, no, none of this makes sense. He didn't walk out of this house. He didn't walk out of it. Didn't walk out of it. It just don't show that. Now, when it comes to the statements, right? The statements that we're going to discuss tonight tell you that he walked out of that house, do they not? Now, if you were there for the community post, if you were there for the show where we broke it all down, and we'll go through it again real quick, because I'm going to ask all of you guys before we go into this dispatch. I'm going to ask all you guys to take some notes of what I wrote down. Just one paper, a few notes, because I want you guys to have these notes with you as we listen to this dispatch. And when you hear certain things, this is what I'm going to try and tell you, what I'm going to try and show you even. This is what I've been trying to get to for weeks. This is why I feel that these sightings, this fog to make people think that Sebastian walked out of that house, because he didn't walk out of it. We just broke it down. He did not walk out of the house. You guys were there with us. It doesn't make sense if he did. The statements are all telling you that he was last seen in 3 different locations. They're not telling you he was last seen at home. But they're telling you that he was seen at 3 different locations that morning. They're telling you he walked out of the house. Because if they're telling you 3 different locations of where he was last seen, they are telling you he walked out of the house. He did not walk out of that house. Just like the dog hit. Everybody, there's talk of the dog scent trails and the hits and all this stuff. I mean, for months there's been talk about it. When Ken Widener has told everybody and repeatedly tells everybody since March 26th that there was in fact no dog hits or scent trails for Sebastian. Those are called false hits. Just like the dirt pile false hit in March. But the interesting thing is that when Ken Widener came out and said that there was no dog hits, there was no scent trails, did they not put that in the statement when it came to the details of Sebastian Rogers and what took place? Because I'm going to play some videos for you. According to TBI, there's a reason why details are very important when it comes to a missing child's case, and that's their own words. So when it comes to details, just like the questions that we've all sent and we have yet to hear a reply, just like all the details, why is there a lack of details? You didn't You found out that the dog hit and jumping in the pond and doing this and doing that was not right. Ken Widener said the dog hit and scent trails were not for Sebastian. So when it comes to what we're going to listen to in the dispatch tonight, and you're going to hear the different locations that are called out, and this is why I want you to take notes of the key details that I pointed out and that we're all waiting for an answer for. Because you'll hear these locations being called out in the dispatch. Now, this is what I've been asking this whole time. If you're not going to include, because the dog hits and scent trails on dispatch turned out to be false, right? So we're not going to include that in the statement because it's why details matter. It's why details matter. Details matter because it helps missing people get found quicker, right? Details matter. The fact that there's 3 different locations from different people, details matter. No, I'm not talking just TBI. I'm talking all the different agencies that are investigating it because they're all telling you something different. Why? Why? When it comes to the last scene in the area of Stafford Court, you basically took out specific locations and you dumbed it down to the area of Stafford Court to continue the narrative that he was witnessed outside of his home on February 26th and not last seen on the night of February 25th. Why? Why would you not include the dog hits after everybody for a month thought that there were dog hit and dog trails until March 26th? A month later is when everybody heard. So a whole month everybody had thought that there was dog trails and dog scents leading in certain directions at us, right? He was witnessed in this location and that location and another location, but there was no times included. Why was there no times included? Because I feel like they're using dispatch audio as the last seen on February 26th and not a real witness statement. That's why you never heard a direction. That's why you never heard a time. You never once. Just locations. And then after they figure out from dispatch that they were in fact not witness of Sebastian in different locations, well then why didn't that information get taken back as well? Why did it not go from last seen on February 26th in the area of Stafford Court? Why did the statement then not go back to last seen between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. on February 25th? Why? Because if it's about details, right? Wouldn't the detail of the time that he was last seen in the area of Stafford Court make a difference? How is that going to impede any investigation? Because don't you think, you look at all these other missing last seen at this time, this area, this direction. You didn't get that with Sebastian Rogers. In the statement, in the area of Stafford Court on the morning, if it's about details, why isn't there a time? If it's about details, why isn't there a direction? Nobody's asking for who it was, don't you think that Sebastian deserves the statement to have the time and the direction / location he was last seen? Because on these flyers, you might see, if it's a family member or something, okay. But how many of them do you see last seen by, Justin Anderson at 11:45? You don't see that. Last seen at 11:45 in this area. Why the fog? Why the manipulation of statements to take focus? Because let's be honest, if it's about details, and just like the dog hits, they turned out not to be real, just like the witnesses on dispatch turned out not to be legit, right? There's no reason to hide that information. That's not going to hinder any investigation. The time and the direction. Don't you want him found? Don't you think the time and direction would help? What if it was at 11:45 in the morning that they saw Sebastian by Long Hollow Pike? Well, gosh, at least he was walking around in the area for a few hours, this and that. He was right over in this direction. Why the fog? Right, Katrina. They act like they don't want him found. Why the fog? Because it's about details. Those details don't hinder anything. Nothing at all. I'm going to play a couple videos for you guys real quick. You can hear it in their own words, right? What's up, Rachel? Thank you, 96. Contribution call out to Tracy M as well for the $20 Cash App. Thank you so much. It's no wonder nobody's had a response. We put this community post out a week ago. Nobody that has sent it out has heard a response. Now I'm going to show you the community post, and I want you to jot some things down here before we check out these couple small videos, and then we'll get into the dispatch stuff this evening. Now, there's a lot of this person versus that person and all sorts of stuff going on. You guys see it. It's been on Twitter. It's been all over. It's just crazy. From both sides, too, man. I don't get it. And I don't know. I just, you see people that you have a lot, you have respect for, and you see people that, you hold at a certain, value or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then, what's up, Samantha? And then you see these people just lose it. It's like, what's up, Love Matters? It's just unfortunate. Just all the back and forth and the back and forth and the back and forth. So this is what we wrote a week ago. To all law enforcement agencies involved in the missing persons case for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, Please let the public know which of these statements are true, not true, don't exist anymore, or cannot be commented further on, and why if able. These are all statements from law enforcement involved and Nick Barris mixed together to ask for the ultimate truth for information. Now, we did on the last live, you can see we went through it, showed you all the sources, the dates of all the information, who said what. Now, this was all combined in a letter form to find out which of these statements is true and not true, right? Question 1. The statement was, the morning of February 26th, Sebastian was reported missing and an Amber Alert was issued. Amber Alert. His cell phone, shoes, and belongings were still in the house. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, didn't include the stripe, and glasses. Sebastian is a 15-year-old white male, 5'5" tall, 120 pounds, with brown hair. Others have stated dirty blonde in their statement, and brown eyes. Sebastian is autistic and may not be able to return safely without assistance. Is it dirty blonde hair or is it brown hair? You know, don't Sebastian deserve to have one specific hair color? Now, I thought it was dirty blonde. Kind of even bordered, you know, like my daughter has this, like it's blonde, but there's some red tint to it. You know what I'm saying? There's some blonde out there that has like a red, you know, when the sunlight hits it right, you kind of see the red in it. You know what I'm saying? I even thought it had a little bit like that. So it's like, and this is the crazy thing, is that, because I've always thought it was dirty blonde. Brown is a lot darker. Now there's, as he gets older, look at the picture for the thumbnail that I have. Now that is brown. So it's kind of like with my hair color. I started off like my hair was like bleach blonde when I was a kid growing up, and then about, you know, 15, 16, then my hair started to actually like darken up, and then hell, by early 20s it was dark brown, you know. And so when that's why I feel like the picture I use for the thumbnail, I feel like is the last, it was the photo from his high school yearbook. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what it, not the little kid, not the 8-year-old or the 10-year-old, but you know, a 15-year-old, right? That hair looks brown, but most pictures dirty blonde. But at the same time, what is it going to be? Is it going to be brown hair? Is it going to be dirty blonde? Or is it going to be brown/dirty blonde? Like, because dirty blonde's a certain shade, brown is a certain shade. If you don't know between one or the other, well, then combine them, because then there's a shade that goes between brown and dirty blonde. Dirty blonde? But that's not what we're going to pay attention to when it comes to this evening. Excuse me. Now, when it comes to brown, most say brown. Just a couple say dirty blonde. Question 2. Sebastian was last living with his mother and stepfather when he disappeared. Now, these are statements that were reported. These are all statements. And the 1, 2s and the 3, 4s are like, okay, which is true, which is not. On the night of February 25th at 10 p.m., the mother reported hearing a thud from his room. Now, this was Don Schmidt, Sumner County Commissioner, stating this in the very beginning. He said, on the night of February 25th at 10 p.m., the mother reported hearing a thud in his room, at which point the mother called out to him to keep it down. He wrote, okay, Sumner County Commissioner wrote, at which point the mother called out to keep him down. Now, we've all heard, are you okay? But Sumner County Commissioner, back when he was telling everybody where he was last seen, was the night of February 25th at 10 p.m. And that's when he was last heard. But she had last seen him when she put him to bed. He writes, mother called out to keep it down, while we've all heard, are you okay? So I said, mother was last person to see him at 10 p.m. on the 25th. Is that correct? Is that correct? Thud or no thud? And also, in response to thud, was it actually keep it down? Or in response to the thud, was it are you okay? We would like to know what the truth is. What is true and what's not? Was it keep it down? Are you okay? What was it? Now, she was the last person to see him February 25th, right? Sebastian was last seen earlier today. Now, these are all the different statements from. Now, Nick Barris is saying the same thing that Sumner County sheriffs are. Nick Barris and Sumner County Sheriff are saying the same thing. Okay? Sumner County Sheriff, Nick Barris, TBI, Sumner County Commissioner all made these different statements right here. Sebastian was last seen earlier today, February 26th. Was it in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee? Was it, quote, Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike? Or, quote, Beach High School in Hendersonville, Tennessee? Or was he last seen from his mother on February 25th? So write those down, because you hear a lot, and you'll continue to hear a lot about in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee, because that's the current. You don't hear Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike anymore, right? You don't hear Beach High School in Hendersonville, Tennessee anymore, right? It switched from Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike from the dispatch. It switched from Beach High School in Hendersonville, Tennessee from the dispatch, and those two morphed into the area of Stafford Court. How does it become the area of Stafford Court? It becomes the area of Stafford Court when you include two different locations, but you don't want to specify them. So then you say in the area because you're not lying. But what we're trying to explain is that you can't use the dog hits and scent trails from the dispatch audio after you find out that they weren't legit, as Ken Widener says. So you can't use the sightings on the dispatch audio that you're about to hear tonight of these specific locations. So they shouldn't be included in the last scene in the area of Stafford Court. And if nobody else saw him at a specific time and at a specific location outside of his house on February 26th, then it should say last seen from his mother between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. on February 25th, 2024. Why do I think that there's fog? I don't know. It doesn't take rocket science to figure it out. Because if you were really about the details, and I'm going to show you these videos, if you were really about the details, and you were really about having the actual factual information out there to try and help find Sebastian as soon as possible, then why is there no last time he was seen? Why is there no direction or specific spot? Because if he was last seen at Beach High School, if he was last seen at Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike, how does telling us at 11:45 that morning at that area hindering the investigation, or needs to be kept secret because other people have already put it out that are part of the investigation? Other people already put it out in the beginning. If you really, but this is what everybody has to understand. No foul play. That's why it's on the thumbnail so big. No foul play. If they know something, isn't that foul play? Because he did not walk out of the house. If they know he was taken, if they know something happened to him, if they know anything, does that not include foul play, ladies and gentlemen? Every bit of it includes foul play because he didn't walk out there by himself. So if you're going to tell me that if there's no foul play and they know something, are you going to tell me he truly walked out of that house? People have to go back to the 3 words. No foul play. No foul play. They could not have enough evidence for arrest, but they would tell you foul play. They are telling you no foul play. They can keep it a secret and go arrest somebody. But if they arrested somebody, wouldn't that be foul play? Because somebody's criminally involved? No foul play. Do I think there's foul play? I thought it from the very beginning because I'm sitting there going, okay, we're out here now, and my first day out here, I don't see how a kid is going to leave home without his shoes on out in these woods. Don't see it. And that was the first day I was out in those woods. I'm like, no. But we had to continue to search as if it was foul play. Or I'm sorry, as if he walked out of the house with no foul play. But I'm sorry. You're going to tell me that a kid just disappears and you don't find anything? Not a sock, not a part of a shirt, not, No. You would have found a sock. You would have found a sock. Because if you're walking with socks out in those woods, it's going to rip your socks apart, okay? And if it ain't ripping your socks apart, it's ripping one of your socks off. There would have been a sock. So I have to sit there and ask myself, if it's about the details, if it's about putting out the correct information that is normally on any other missing information, if you really want to find him, Why wouldn't you put out the information? Why is it so secret? There's no reason to have certain details be kept a secret. In fact, those details help other missing cases out. There's no reason for it. No foul play. Very important. Now, these locations right here, you're going to hear them in this dispatch audio. We already know that the sightings were not him, right? There's a reason there's no time. There's a reason that there's in the area of Stafford Court. There's a reason for it. The reason is the fog. Why would there be fog coming from there? I don't have any idea. Because you want to, and just like 95% of the law enforcement out there is amazing. We have a lot of law enforcement that watch this show. They know how I am with it's legit. But at the same time, there's always some rotten fruit. That's why we put together the letter. That's why multiple people sent it out. We just want to know the truth, and Sebastian deserves it. Because at the bottom of this, keep in mind those locations: Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike, Beach High School. When it comes to this dispatch audio, it's messed up because what I've been trying to tell y'all low key for weeks is that they're using the dispatch audio to give them a sighting of Sebastian the morning of February 26th so that the attention doesn't go back to last seen between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. on the night of the 25th. This is why all this was important. And you can go to the community section and you can see it for yourself if you want to send it to... Listen, none of us have yet to get a reply back. And they might even be watching this tonight. And these are legitimate questions based off of all the different people that are involved in the investigation. Why all the different statements? And why is it dumbed down right now? The canine scent trails and hits for Sebastian the morning of February 26th and beyond turned out to be false. The witnesses seeing Sebastian outside of his residence on the morning of February 26th from the dispatch audio. Those are false too, are they not? This is why I said, law enforcement, please make a new updated statement that reflects all the discoveries or recants as of January 4th, 2025. It is of the utmost importance for Sebastian, the community, the family, and the world for everyone to have the most truthful and updated information regarding Sebastian's missing persons case to ultimately find him in a timely manner with the absolute clarity that Sebastian and his loved ones deserve. And then here's the link for the show where we went through all of the different places that we got the statements. So here's the link for that. If you haven't watched it yet, go through it all. The dates, who, and then you can see everything that I put together on that community post, that letter is specifically stated in all of those statements that you see on that show. So again, if we're using these statements to tell people that he was last seen on the 26th, the morning of, it shouldn't even be included in the statement anymore in the area of Stafford Court. if there was a witness, and nobody's even asking who it was, but if there was a witness that seen him that morning in the area, why is there no time? Why is there no specific location? He was last seen at Beach High School at 6:47 a.m., right? Why? That only helps. That doesn't hurt an investigation. It doesn't hinder. It doesn't affect it. There's no, that information right there. Oh shit, they saw him at 6:47. That means they know I was right there. Hello? That information right there. Shouldn't even be a problem. In fact, it would help searchers and family, anybody trying to find this young man. But instead, they're all being hindered. Now, this is TBI's media page. What happens when a child goes missing and why the details matter. Just really short little videos, okay? Short little videos.
When a child goes missing in Tennessee, it's important that law enforcement is notified immediately so we can start the process to assist. Once TBI is notified, we have the capabilities to start the process of notifying the public because in these missing kid cases, anytime a child goes missing, it's important to get that information out to the public immediately.
Right? It's important to get the information out to the public. Say that again, ma'am.
These missing kid cases, anytime a child goes missing, it's important to get that information out to the public immediately through our media, through alerts that go off on cell phones, as well as making sure that all law enforcement are aware so they can be looking in the area for the child.
So everybody's aware so they can be looking. So again, if you were witnessing Sebastian on the morning of February 26th and you weren't part of what was going down with the dog hits and the dog scent trails that were proven to be false as well, shouldn't the witness sightings of February 26th be taken back just like the dog hit and scent trails? And should it not say last seen at home in his residence between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. on the night of the 25th? This is why law enforcement needs to make a new updated statement, because the details matter.
Anything that we can provide the public up front, or if we have search teams that are out looking immediately after a child goes missing, the more information that we can give the search teams or law enforcement, hopefully the quicker we're going to find the child. If a child has a blanket, that might be something that sticks out. When we push this out to the public and we can give them something to look for, whether it be
the time, whether it be the direction that he was last seen that morning, right? Do you see where we're going here? Here's the videos. It's their own. It's their own. You can see the little thing in the bottom here. There needs to be a new statement because there's a lot of stuff that's not true now. 10 and a half months have gone by. There's a lot of stuff that's not true.
If a child has a blanket, that might be something that sticks out. When we push this out to the public and we can give them something to look for, whether it be a blanket or a stuffed animal or a toy or a favorite location, somewhere near the house, a park, something that is going to attract that child in a true missing case where they ran away, that's going to give the public anything that we have, we are going to share with the public to recover them.
Right. So wouldn't you include the time and the place that he was last seen? Nobody's asking for the witness's driver's license. Nobody's asking what house they live in. Nobody's asking what car they drive. Nobody's even asking what they like for breakfast. Are people asking for a time? Yes. Are people asking for a direction? Yes. And that's another thing, CB. You know, this is it. This is why we keep Amber Alert, right? Why Amber Alert when we're talking and we're saying less Amber Alert, but yet no foul play. No foul play. Needs a new statement. Sebastian deserves better. His family deserves better. His community deserves better. All the people that love him deserve better. The right information needs to be out there. Look, we all make mistakes. We're human. Nobody's perfect. I'm not one to sit there and, but when 10 and a half months goes by and things are found out to be not true, things are found out to be false, things are found out after time, you find out, no, that really wasn't it. That's fine. That's part of it, right? We want them to explore all theories, thoughts, and opinions. We want them to explore those, but what we don't want them to do is if they find out it's not true, promote it like it still exists, because that right there is not justice for Sebastian. That's fog between us and Sebastian. Because we're all here together. We're all trying to do whatever we can to help find him. The less fog that exists, the better. Because then it helps us get to the path of finding him quicker. There's no reason. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a time, why there shouldn't be a place. None. And there shouldn't be a reason why, if it's found out to be false and not true, there shouldn't be a reason why it shouldn't be promoted anymore as something that exists, and it should go back to the true last person that's seen him alive. It makes me wonder how long we're all going to wait to hear a response. That's why I asked all of you guys, if you wanted to, you could copy it and paste it and send it off yourself. Because I imagined I probably wouldn't get a response. I'm sure, hell, you hear everybody else say, I haven't heard nothing yet either. At least maybe somebody might get one. Somebody. Because at least then you got the truth out there. We're all trying to find him. Sebastian deserves that. Sebastian deserves to have the true last person that's seen him, the time and the place to be accounted for. Sebastian deserves that. The time and place to be accounted for, last seen. And if you don't think he deserves that, then you obviously don't want him found, because if it was your child, your family, your loved one, your friend, and they went missing, and there was no reason, there was no time and location, the last seen, but they're telling you it was in this area. Get real. Get real. Contribution call out here real quick, and then we're going to listen to this dispatch audio. I want to say shout out to Red Rum Media. She had did these videos a long time ago. That not only we've gone through our own dispatch audio video, but this one I'm gonna shout her out, Red Rum Media, for putting these together. And she even had the transcribe on the screen, because like YouTube can be kind of weird when it comes to the closed caption and the words that are being spoke. Now she did a great job on it, and I love highlighting other people that are out there in case you guys have never heard of these people. I always like to, community. It's a community effort, and try and do all this together. But I do want to call these out here real quick before we get into that. And remember those locations: Beach, Shackle, right? Beach and Shackle. Here, let me get this exactly right, because I don't want to misquote locations. Let me go back to the statements here. Beach, Shackle Island, near Long Hollow Pike, near Beach High School. And the other places in the area of Stafford Court, that's what it's became now, since the locations aren't mentioned anymore. And the real, what we've all known was that he was really last seen from his mom. Other than that, that's what we're asking. Locations. So those will come up here in the dispatch, and you guys will see. Oh, just like the dog hit and the dog scent trails, that got taken back. The locations got taken back, but the witness that morning didn't get taken back, when it should have got taken back with the locations. You see what I'm saying? Contribution call out Katrina. It says a new member. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, Katrina. I don't know what part of that. Wait, it still gives you. It still shows you as the 12 plus. What the heck? Ever since that thing that they did to me a couple weeks ago, Kathy D, thank you. I gotta see if 6 plus for Kathy D. Why is it telling me you guys are new members? And then see for this one, Angela, thank you for your membership as well. It says member for 2 months. So I don't understand why it did that. I don't understand that, but thank you so much. Contribution call out to you. I really appreciate it, and really thank you for being a part of the. All right, so let me see here. I'm going to switch to, let's see, part 1. So this is going to be part 1 here. And I'm going to share, here, let me share the channel real quick. So here's the channel. And thank you all, I appreciate it. Here's the link for the channel. And I want to say shout out to Red Room Media for putting this together. Like I said, we could have used mine, but you know how YouTube is, and I always love showcasing others. So here's the link for that, and then I'll drop the video links for each one. Now there's 2 parts to it, and this will be part 1, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll turn down the music, and then we'll kind of get going on this. Give me 1 second. So just remember those locations, because they're very important. And it's why I feel like I just don't feel like there just needs to be a new statement, was what it boils down to.
Central to 47. Central to 47 and 184.
24 Long Haul Fight, 360.
Heading missing juvenile, 1008 Stafford Court, 1008 Stafford Court, Hendersonville. Caller advised this morning they woke up and their 15-year-old male is not in the bed. We had a white male, 3 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, 120 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. Juvenile does have a form of autism. This is the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. All the doors are locked at this time.
10-4 Monroe.
So far, show you.
Hello, Central.
12, go ahead. I show you now.
He's my clear verbal warning.
Got it, I had to clear verbal.
47 Central.
47, go ahead.
Yes, the juvenile has a phone.
So then I asked the call taker to ask if the juvenile has a phone. Great. Central to 68. I am Mrs. Fire Call.
Yes.
Be in the area of Steam Plant Road and Newton Lane. Caller very backup truck is on fire. We'll move around the side of the road. Caller's no longer answering call taker's questions. Central to 47, 184 and 12. Juvenile left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving a baby blue Infiniti.
47 to 12. Get there and see what's going on. Do our own search of the residence. We'll go from there.
184, your OCA will be 02197. 02197. And the call is 634. Good.
Biggest chance. Can you call all of the local hospitals just to make sure he's not in one of those?
And 5.
68 Central on Plain.
47. 12.
Good, cool.
I said there's no medical center ER, center station ER, Summer Regional ER, and Skyline, all clear of the juvenile. Also, I do have a 911 hangout is pending at 132 Hollywood Boulevard, Zone 1. There is no call history, and they've attempted language line with no connection. Do you want me to clear it?
10-4 Central, you clear. 68 Central, K9's on the ground.
Copy, K9 on the ground.
Hey, Jenkins, he's on for 63 Central.
837.
I'll be 10-6 at Cairo. Well, we're going north. On the Stafford.
47. Code Red has been launched. The Code Red has been launched.
One open animal farm near Puppy Hollow, Central Point area. Go ahead. Next big track back up, going into the construction site over here, back towards the beach. Boy, I'm behind you. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? You shouldn't have any shoes on. Negative, this is all dry, hard packed. Out of Stafford Court. LT, we're now headed back south towards the cemetery on the far end of the construction site. Simple, I can see you. I do have some footprints over here. Right there where you're standing? Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining pond. No shoes, just footprints? The shoes, the Max went straight into the pond. He literally dove into it.
See, he said a shoe. All right. Do you listen to him real quick when he said, is it a shoe or a footprint? And he goes, shoe. Max jumped right into the pond. Shoe. It was, so when people were like, hey, they found Sebastian's footprint. No, they didn't. They said footprints. And then when he was asked to clarify, he said shoe.
Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining pond. No shoes, just footprints? A shoe that.
See, a shoe. A shoe. Where it says inaudible, a shoe.
A shoe that Max went straight into the pond. He literally dove into it.
A shoe. Max went straight into the pond. He literally dove in it. There's a lot of footprints around there. It's a construction site. There's some parts that the mud is dry, hard packed. There's some spots that it was muddy and it would suck your boot off like it was quicksand. Definitely both parts.
12 DMA 1, you direct. Hey, repeat that, Rice. Let me make sure he... Max led me straight to the retaining pond. Over behind Willow Boulevard, he dove right into the water. Yeah, do you see any prints around it? There's a few footprints in some of the softer dirt headed straight this way on the track that he was running.
See, now he keeps referring to them as footprints. This is where they're getting confused. There's a communication breakdown, see? So I'm going to rewind it just a minute. You're going to keep hearing him refer to it as footprints. That's why for the last minute, the other officer is asking him, is it a shoe or a boot? Shoe or a boot? Because he keeps referring to it as footprints. But they're not footprints. He's telling you they're footprints, but they're boot prints.
One open animal farm near Happy Hollow, Central Point area.
Pam, yeah, that's true. But a properly trained handler would listen. That it's the dog. I've already felt like the dog probably had an anxiety attack because the search areas were not the search areas were not sectioned off. It was not a controlled area. They didn't even have some of the construction people shut off their equipment. So you got loud sounds and beeping going on while the dog's trying. It wasn't the puppy's fault. I think the puppy was probably doing everything it could to try and like maintain its focus, because when it's game time for that puppy, why are they so effective? Because they're able to focus and zone in, and that requires a lot of attention, a lot of attention. And you got all these, you got people screaming, you got scents flying all around you because people are searching right next to you. You know what I'm saying? Neighbors are searching right next to you. You got all these scents and these sounds, and it's just chaos when you're being trained in an area where it's controlled and there's not other activity affecting your performance there. And that too, Busby, they're supposed to be trained on how to read their canine as well. I think this dude was as nervous as shit, and that's why he kept saying footprints, and it was all over the place. Because listen, he keeps saying, that's why for a minute, why should it take a minute for the other officer to try? And he still didn't even answer his question. He still didn't even answer it. That is not effective communication. That is not. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Code Red has them on. Code Red has them on.
One open animal farm near Happy Hollow, Central Point area. Go ahead. Next big track back up, going into the construction site over here, back towards the beach. Boy, I'm behind you. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? You shouldn't have any shoes on. Negative, this is all dry, hard packed. Out of Stafford Court. LT, we're now headed back south towards the cemetery on the far end of the construction site. Simple, I can see you. I do have some footprints over here. Right there where you're standing? Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining pond. No shoes, just footprints? The shoes that Max went straight into the pond. He literally dove into it. 12 DMA 1, you direct. Hey, repeat that, Rice. Let me make sure he... Max led me straight to the retaining pond. over behind Willow Boulevard. He dove right into the water. Yeah, do you see any prints around it? There's a few footprints in some of the softer dirt headed straight this way on the track that he was running. 1247, what size shoe does he wear? Size 10, 25 central. That's 2 Stafford Court. Go ahead. Do we have a picture yet? That's simple.
Looking and there's no picture.
Can you send it to me, please?
Looking and there's no picture. Was he look? You guys will hear this
Throughout
the whole thing. You'd be like, "What's he look like? What's he look like? Is there a picture? What's his name?"
Where the riprap is, where the trees are, 25 feet maybe out in toward the middle. Dude, me one. Hey guys, the construction zone, there's another pond. There's somebody standing in the woods. It looks like a person. It is a person, we know, but there's another pond. He's standing back there by himself. Past the construction zone in the same area back there. Is that to the north of us? Yeah, the north end of it, yeah. Where they're working on the machinery at, go straight back. There's another pond back there, but there's a person in the woods by that pond. Past the house on the other side of the tree line. Going back toward the beach or going on the back side? Yeah, on the back side, and he's not moving. He's just standing there by himself in the woods.
By Beach High School.
It's Hendersonville 517. I'm on the northeast corner in the cemetery across the tree line. Am I close? No, the backside. Nikki, if you can, do you have anybody there with you that can drop a what 3 words location? Stand by. Let me see if I can find it on my map. I got my drone grounded for the moment, and I'll see if I can do it. Target's over. 1 to 2. I'm in my truck going up the corner. Can you see us? Lance, hold up. I'm going to jump in with you. 2, there's 4 of us on foot coming across the yard, start directions. 19's on the screen. Everybody's on the ATV right there in that field, driving straight to the woods. Or straight in. Keep going like you're going. Keep going. Go left. Please come back, you passed it. Look at this slow us on foot on the other side, pick us up and tell us which way to go. Here we only have 1 drone, we don't want to get off the target, and we got somebody close to it. Alright, somebody's walking straight to it right there. So walk, 2 people right there. Walk like you're going. Walk like you're going straight. Into the woods. You should be about 15 foot from it. What's the child's first name? She'll be all over it, whatever it is right there. The 2 people walking the woods. It's a mannequin. Sorry, guys. Look just like a person from the air. Hendersonville 66. What's the name of the child that we're looking for?
First name is Sebastian.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
First name is Sebastian.
Simple. We have a last known physical description, height, clothing.
Last clothing description was black sweatpants with a white stripe, black long sleeve t-shirt with a print.
Simple thing.
T3 Central back to service.
Nikki, how many drones do you all have up? 1 at the moment. I've got mine grounded so I can get Sark Topo up. I'll be back in the air momentarily.
10-4. Central on scene. Put 2 out here with me.
Bryce, call me, please. Timbo. Who's at the residence? I just got back here. 10-4. Has anybody been there since the initial? There's a whole bunch of people here now. My mom has. 12 to 55. 12 to 55.
Yes, sir.
Can you help me listen to the radio on the north end until we wrap this up, please?
Yes, sir.
Brandon, you've got Hendersonville Mountain Patrol coming up there, and Joe's sending some more cars if we can start from the beginning, from the original house, and set up a new plan up there. 10-4, that's what we're doing now, sir. Thank you.
63 Central clear, false call.
All you, so neighbor advised that he's found the child under his son's car, which is across the street, 2 doors up. So be sure and search under cars and under things. Go ahead. Who do you want to go with this other canine search and rescue? Simple. There's the cannon. HFG down here at the end of the road. I'm going to direct him to the farm. 12. Go ahead. I just talked to the GC, the construction back here. He's going to start getting the word out to all his crews that are out here working. Simple, thank you. He's going to have them check all their current under construction sites that they're working on and then report back. Simple. Is associated with 1008 staff report. Supposed to be coming back to 1008 staff report so we can get a game plan and reconvene. Hey, Target, can you put a drone right over top of this trash can, this dumpster? See if there's anything in it. 12. All the buildings up here are clear. Simple. Come back to 1008. We're going to put 2 on groups. Send up. Simple. 16 Central.
All right. Oh, hold on 1 second. Dang it. This is where's part 2? All right. So that was part 1. Let me share this link with you guys. And then, so that's part 1. This is part 2. And then, let me see. Yeah, right, Katrina? Landfill. Now you can hear the chaos going on. He says footprints, but he tells you shoe. It's not a shoe. A shoe. As a response, is it a footprint or a shoe? A shoe. Man, Max just jumped into the pond. Yeah. Now, this is where you hear some of these locations, right? And shout out to Red Rum again. Here's the link for part 2.
We've had a caller call in, advised in approximately 5 to 6 minutes ago. He saw 2 juveniles, one in a black sweatshirt and one female with a backpack on, between Long Hollow Church and Somerset Downs. The male was wearing a black hoodie. Direction of travel was towards Gallatin. Caller states that the additional juvenile shorter than the male with long hair wearing a brown backpack.
16 steps. 26 Central in the area there. Don't check it. 4 to 12. Hi, guys.
Okay, so listen to that again. Listen to that again.
Units on scene at 1008 Cyber Court. We've had a caller call in, advised in approximately 5 to 6 minutes ago. He saw 2 juveniles, one in a black sweatshirt and one female with a backpack on, between Long Hollow Church and Somerset Downs. The male was wearing a black hoodie. Direction of travel was towards Gallatin. Caller states that the additional juvenile shorter than the male with long hair wearing a brown backpack.
16 steps.
Said shorter, not the other word that it displays. Shorter. Units on scene for that specific person. Don't check it. Okay. But you hear some location. Just wait.
26 Central in the area there. Don't check it.
Don't check
4
it.
to 12. I got to check it out, but one of our UMA guys rode through there just a bit earlier reported. Not sure it was them, but this one in a black hoodie had long hair. Before we come in.
So other locations, it was recorded black hoodie with long hair. Just wait.
Wait for him.
He was.
Those juvenile. Could you give me a description again? 188. Van 184 is going to send you a picture.
10-4. The 184. I'll be in the area. Go ahead and send that to me as well.
It's 23 to 188.
Central.
Okay.
You send a code red for 1008 staff.
Code red was sent out at 0745 this morning.
2-4. We will send that in good. Can we retry that, please? 6-3 Central Deal 1 check.
Go ahead, sir.
Can you come to 1008 Stafford, please?
3-4.
Did you get the picture? I sent it to you.
I did.
10-4. 63. Marcus Rangel is clear in CIC through name, date of birth only. I don't have a social.
You're right. I'll be clear with an assist. 12-188.
Go ahead, sir.
Can you come to 1008 Stafford, please?
188. Did you get the picture? I sent it to you.
I did.
10-4.
You're right. I'll be clear with an assist. 12 to any units that are going to be assisting with 1008. Please come to 1008 Stafford Court now, please. 4 Central.
What's up?
Escorting one white female juvenile, one male juvenile to Beach High School. Mileage is 57, 355. For you.
Okay. You're hearing Long Hollow. You're hearing Beach High School, right? It's not him. It's obvious it's not him.
Boys are still off. 26 Central, all clear forward. I'm still in the area.
It's obvious it's not him.
Did you copy my traffic? 4 Central. Beach High School, 57, 356. Cover truck. Central. We have any history of this address? Beginning of Kelly Lane 1000. We're going to work our way north of Kelly Lane.
Okay. So I'm going to pause it right here. We're going to go to the map real quick, okay? And I want to show you some key areas that we're going to be listening for when we're listening to them call out these different addresses, okay? Now, when we're going back to this area, these are the houses we've already shown that are going to have, and one specific house is going to have the best footage that there would be, if there is any footage, for what took place. Now, this gentleman is starting off at 1,000 Kellen Lane, so that is right here. The sign to the entrance of the neighborhood's right here. If you watch my neighborhood, one of them that I did, you'll see I always start off at this this sign right here as we go around. So they're going to be going to 1,000. They're going to be heading up, but as part of our shows, we've showed you 1,000 and 1,006, 1,008. 1,008 will have really good footage because look, the footage goes directly right here, okay? And then 1,010, this house right here, this is the same house that when we drop you down to Google, okay? And let's go over here because this is the area that the camera is going to be. So when we drop you down on Google, you can see right here that that camera, like I've always told you, is facing towards these two vehicles. But if you go back to our footage weeks after he was missing, this camera right here actually faces right where we're looking. It's in a completely different direction than what's showing on Google. That's why it's important to always get real footage compared to what you're seeing that was captured like 7 months before Sebastian even went missing. All right. So if we're going to have that exact camera looking at us, okay, it's looking over here right now, or it's looking over in this direction right now. But if it's looking directly at us, right, we're going to drop down. I'm going to take you around and we're going to go straight ahead and look what that camera would be picking up on when it comes to any activity that's happening at the T section of Kellen and Stafford. It's going to pick up from over here all the way over to here based off of the angle of that camera. So listen for 1010. Listen for 1008. Listen for those two specific houses when it comes to this dispatch and what they say.
Take one side of the road, we'll take the other since y'all started there. That's fine. I'll get these two houses right here, and we'll take the right side. The white Ford truck, that's the Hendersonville officer's house that's with me. On the corner? No, that house hasn't been checked. The next house up from it, you'll see the white Ford in the driveway. 12 Central.
Okay.
We log a neighborhood Facebook page. Post was made. 1023 checked. No motion on camera.
I'll be clear, we're in one.
Token branch. Male with sandy blonde hair, with a bag wrapped around his head. Shell stated he had on a reflective jacket approximately 2 hours ago.
12-2-16. Do you have somebody that can respond to that?
10-4. I was out with that subject last night. Blonde with a reflective jacket. He's in his 20s.
3-12. Go ahead, 3. You know, if anybody check this 139 Will Bend straight across from the retention pond, about the camera. I'm not sure if anybody did there. 30 command. 139 Will Bend has a camera, but nobody's answering the door. 4 to command.
Go ahead, 4.
He had some ties at White House High School, and every time he got in trouble, he wanted to go back to White House, so I notified White House PD, and we're notifying the 30 command. Were you direct on 139 Willow Bend?
This way, that was the camera, is correct.
It's 10-4. Nobody's answering, nobody's home. Southern direction.
16 to command.
Go ahead.
Regarding the miscellaneous matter of record pending, cleared and authorized court.
Central to Summer 8. I am unable to find anything in RMS regarding the registered owners. I'm still looking online at this time. Standard units that are at staff report. When you check a residence, please give me the numeric and unit numbers that have checked it and whether or not you made contact with anybody.
68 to 6 minutes.
Go ahead.
Made contact with 1000 Killing Lane. He checked all of his cameras. Nothing was on. No answer at 102 or 103 Killing Lane. 105 answer, hasn't seen it. Nothing on the ring doorbell.
Just one, you're saying 102. Is it 1002 or is it 102?
1002. I'm sorry.
Can you advise if he has a white purple hoodie with former sentiment in front of it?
Did you ask if you had a light purple hoodie?
Yeah, he's, I don't know if the parents will know, but just find out if he owns a white purple hoodie with Homer Simpson in front of it.
10-4. Anybody that does a residence, can they ask the parents?
Mom doesn't advise that she can recall one.
10-4.
Central.
Well, go ahead.
And we make sure that this has been rolled out.
Man, the communication's really bad when they're asking about a frickin' Homer Simpson hoodie. A white and purple hoodie. Communication's bad. Here's the location between the home and White House High School. 14 minutes, 8.7 miles. That's 14 minutes if you're driving.
To Hendersonville and Galveston. Also, they were at Striking Square last night, just bowling at some games. Can you have a unit go there and just go around and make sure that he hasn't returned there? Make sure he didn't want to continue his day. 47 to command.
47.
'68 and Hendersonville 517. I mean,
What is traffic?
517 Hendersonville is with me. 1006 no contact. 1008 made contact. Haven't seen anything. 1010 contact. They hadn't seen anything, either nothing on ring doorbell.
That's not a Ring doorbell, though, at 1010. So 1008 and 1010 right here, okay, is telling you that now 1008, 1008 does have a Ring camera doorbell. 1010 also a Ring camera doorbell. They also have another camera that's above their garage that's pointing at the T section of Stafford in Kellen Lane. Nothing. Now, when it comes to law enforcement, because let's be honest, let's think about this. We say that the light video is suspicious. It is suspicious. Especially the night that he goes missing, there's 2 lights that are leaving the house. It's suspicious. But again, it's a recording from a phone of a certain section of the video. Seth Edens even said it himself that it's just a small upper left corner of the video. It's a cell phone recording. You know what it does to footage? It manipulates it. Hell, Idaho 4. Somebody took a photo of a car at a gas station from a phone off of a 1980 monitor that had a glass curve and all of a sudden the car was floating. It's like, no. That's why the raw sources are important, because they show the clarity, they show it at their fullest. So when it comes to 1008 and 1010 and telling you, hey, if just like I showed you with this map, hey, 1010, they'd have something real good based, because their camera pointing right at this intersection. And let me go to the exact angle that it would be. Again, the camera that's over here on the garage, not the Ring Cam doorbell that's on the front door. The Ring Cam garage camera would be pointing right in this direction off of the footage from a couple weeks after he went missing to show you guys. This right here would have had something. Okay? Now, when they tell you that there was nothing on there, is that why Craddock is telling people that the light video that took place over here, is that why Craddock is saying that the lights that took place over here have no evidentiary value in the missing persons case of Sebastian Rogers? Is because this camera right here showed no activity taking place right here? Again, the video that everybody's digging into is a recording from a cell phone at an angle only covering part of it off of a monitor. Watch a HD movie on your computer monitor and take a photo of it with your phone at a slight angle in just a certain corner of it, and let's compare the difference of clarity and what it might show and not show. So when we're listening to the dispatch and they specifically tell you this house right here, because it has a ring camera as well, front door has a ring camera right there. If this house didn't have any footage that picked anything up, this is the only entrance and exit when it comes to this neighborhood. That vehicle or him walking, if he was walking out the road, but a vehicle specifically would have been caught on camera. If this right here does not have anything on footage, well, then if there was a car that pulled up and did this and did this and did this, there'd be something on the footage, right? And maybe that's why law enforcement says that there's no foul play, because they don't have any foul play taking place here. No foul play taking place here. So the video of the lights, even though it may look suspicious to us, again, we're watching a cell phone video at an angle, zoomed in on a certain section of the video off of a monitor. And we haven't seen the footage that this neighbor claims there's nothing on. Because I bet you if we maybe would see the footage that this neighbor has nothing, no foul play taking place at all whatsoever, then would all of these lights in the backyard make a difference? Because if there was a car here that was trying to pick him up in any of these spots, that camera would have picked it up. That camera shows foul play took place, or him walking this direction, but they went through all and didn't find any sign. Now, don't you think if this neighbor was scrambled, don't you think law enforcement would have said, well, okay, he didn't see anything, but there's like certain parts of the video that are weirdly scrambled. Don't you think they would have said that? No foul play, remember. That camera, they just told you nothing was found on it.
Bill is with me.
47 to command.
47.
68 and Hendersonville 517. I mean,
What was your traffic?
517 Hendersonville is with me. 1006, no contact. 1008, made contact. Haven't seen anything. 1010, contact. They hadn't seen anything either. Nothing on ring doorbell.
47 to command.
47.
Listen, if people don't have their cameras activated for motion, I don't know what people have them for then, because that's your protection. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why we have them. So when there's motion, it's going to record stuff. So if you're talking about this area right here and you got this camera and it's pointed right at the intersection, not here on Google, but on the footage that we have from weeks after he went missing, it shows the correct direction of the camera. This was taken in July of 2023. Our footage is weeks after. It shows the correct angles of all the cameras. This would have picked up something. It would have recorded. Especially if your camera is right there, it's going to record activity right here. So I'd adjust your settings because Normally, you want that to kick off before something's taken place. You know what I'm saying? You want it, and my cameras, I'll be honest with you, my cameras, they pick up people walking on the other side of the street. And there's trees in between, and you know what I'm saying? Shrubs and trees and all this other stuff in between my camera and these people walking on the other side of the street. It picks up when people are walking on the other side of the street with all that in between. If this person's camera didn't go off when there was a car driving in this area or somebody was getting out or something, I take it back, because it ain't working like it's supposed to. Take it back.
Determine driver's spot.
Wait for him to get it all set up. Command the units on Stafford. I'm going to the command post. If you say anything, I'll be out of pocket for just a few seconds.
63. Oh, yeah, that's an original. We're leaving 61.
22 to command. $1,012 Killing Lane through 22 command.
22.
The lady at 1032 Killing runs the neighborhood Facebook page, and she updating it to request people to look in their crawl spaces and hidden areas.
10-4.
Fine. Go ahead. Hey, on at 1017 Killing Lane, did y'all happen to check the crawl space? I will have to check my list, but if it wasn't locked from the outside, it was checked.
47 to command.
47.
Effort. They are reviewing their camera footage right now.
Well, are you guys giving them numbers to call if they find anything?
Several. 184 still with them right now.
10-4. Go ahead.
Need some check contact and they got cameras checked. No, that's fine.
184, you're low volume. They got cameras checked.
People 1018, they checked the cameras. No contact.
10-4.
I'm going to walk through the cemetery. Just to the west of Beach High School. I'll be out at St. John Missionary, 1085. Check along on foot.
All right, so now I'm going to go back. And I want to say shout out to Red Rum for doing that. Some of the words were still kind of off, but shout out to her. All right, so I'm going to go back to this now. You heard the different locations. Obviously, it wasn't him. Somebody with a black sweatshirt. Not a black hoodie like that person was wearing. Sebastian was wearing a black sweatshirt. He didn't have long hair, so it was obvious it wasn't him. Yeah, all individual emails. It wasn't just me. That's why I encouraged other people to send it out as well. Because I already figured I wouldn't get a response, so that's why I'm saying, hey, I probably won't get one. Maybe you guys will. Trust me, when I finally get one, I'll put out if it's not during a live show, I'll put out a little video, and I'll let you guys know what they respond with, because I'm waiting. I think there needs to be a new statement. I think when you're listening to these locations, obviously it wasn't him. Why would a last seen at Beach High School at 7 a.m.? Details matter, right? The public needs to know. It can help. The more information, the quicker we find these missing people. Their words. Share it with the public. The public needs to know too. So when you're trying to find them, you got all this stuff going on, and okay, well, we thought there was dog hits and dog scent trails. There's not. Okay, never mind. Even though it's still being put out there from ex-law enforcement, how there was still, I don't get it. Interns will screw you over. Sit there and trust their work. You got to do it yourself. Otherwise, you come off very uninformed. Why all the different locations? Oh, well, it's not at Beach High anymore. It's not at Long Hollow Pike anymore. No, those turned out not to be true. So we'll just call it in the area of Stafford Court. Why in the area of Stafford Court? Why isn't it back to last seen in the area of Stafford Court at 7 in the morning? What time was he last seen even? Just the time. What time was he last seen? Because when we're looking at this, and right there it says brown hair. It doesn't say stripe on sweatpants. It says in the area of Stafford Court. Doesn't even give you a time. It doesn't even say in the early morning hours. It doesn't say morning hours. It doesn't say afternoon. It doesn't have a time whatsoever. Why? Why did it go from Beach High School to Beach Shackle Island near Long Hollow Pike? Why? Why did it go from February 26th? Or I should say, why did it go from February 25th, the night of, and the words, keep it down? That's from law enforcement. Keep it down. Instead of, are you okay? Like we've always heard on these interviews. Can you imagine if Nancy would have heard Katie's response and to keep it down? Can you imagine? Of course. I asked if he was okay, just like the back door was locked. I asked if he was okay. Didn't happen. Because I believe the initial story from law enforcement, because when you see this post and you're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like he just got, this sounds like he just got, they just took an interview and wrote this down. I mean, when you look at this right here, Sumner County Sheriff, Sumner County Commissioner, last seen February 25th, and then you see what it says right here. He was last living with his mother and stepfather when he disappeared on the night of February 25th at 10 p.m. The mother reported hearing a thud from his room, at which point the mother called out to him to keep it down. Where do you hear this? This was in the very beginning. February 26th is when this was posted. This right here sounds like somebody is telling the truth. He looked at a report from an officer from an interview. Called out to him to keep it down. Not, are you okay? Like we've all heard. Now, when I look at this one and I'm like, this is the straight up right here, just like this. February 25th, 2024. This right here, I feel, is the most realist statement out of any of them. There needs to be a new statement. Because no sightings, which I don't. What time was he sighted and where at? That doesn't hinder an investigation. That actually helps the public and any other missing flyer information. If there was a witness, they're telling you the time and the date and the place on the flyer. They're not keeping it general. So why the fog between who last seen him? Why the fog? No foul play, remember, but they got to keep it a secret. No foul play. If there's no foul play, there's no reason to protect a date and a time and a location other than in the area. Because when you get to that point and you're like, okay, if you're being secretive about this, why so secret? Why the fog? It's why I played those little clip videos before we got into this, so you could see from their own words. Details, information to the public. A date, time. You gave us the date, the time, and then location. The area is Stafford Court. Sebastian deserves better than that. Sebastian deserves better than last seen in the area of Stafford Court. There's a reason why nobody's gotten a reply from a week ago. They probably don't know how to answer the questions because it's like, shoot. Oh, my Lord. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Man, this stuff between SF and Hong is just going crazy. There's still stuff going on Twitter. I mean, you saw the stuff with Lower Lodge. I mean, it's crazy. And I don't know why. This is what I don't understand. I don't know why. There's some people that like to call set aside the green team, and I don't understand it because I always thought the green team was Sebastian. I mean, isn't that why we put green hearts in chat and there's green lights and stuff, is because it was Sebastian's favorite color? So why is one side a green team? I don't understand that. I've just, like I said, I was without internet for most of the week. Thank God we got power back. But I'm just sitting there watching. I couldn't really run a show or a program. Didn't have the internet speed. It plus it just kept cutting out. I would have been dropping out, and also it would have been bad. But I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man, it's just sad. Yeah, drop the green hearts in there for Sebastian. I'm just like, man, this person's going after this person, and this person's going after this person, and this person's going after this person, and it's like, holy hell. And then I get on Twitter and I'm just from both. You know what I'm saying? From both. It's like, I don't get it. It is, man. I just don't get it. It's like, practically walking fertilizer. And then here, hey, he can barely get 5 likes on his post. I mean, I don't know. I know, Kathy. I'm just saying, it's just like, man. Both. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, people. That's we're gonna go in tomorrow night. I'm gonna try and do 2 shows tomorrow. But tomorrow night for sure, we're gonna go into this facts and foul play and no facts and no foul play, and we're gonna talk about all this tomorrow night. It'll probably be a late night show, honestly. Because tomorrow's Friday, right? But I've been wanting to go into that. I wanted to go into it tonight. I really wanted to go into it last night. But the internet speeds were not there's no way I would have been able to. But tomorrow night, I wanted to get through this dispatch stuff because I don't know. They need to come out with a new statement. They really do. And I needed to show you guys that the dispatch, just like the dog hits and the dog scent trails, it promoted a certain something. The locations promoted a certain something. And if it really does, if there was nobody that witnessed Sebastian at a certain time in a certain location on February 26th, the public, Sebastian, his family, the community, they all have a right to know what the truth is. We're never one to say we're perfect. People make mistakes. We're human. That's part of being human. But at least when you know something isn't true. Just like some of these trolls, when you know that something isn't true, back the F off it. You know what I'm saying? Just like them. If you know it's not true, back the F off it. We'll see. Like I said, if we're live doing a show and we get some kind of reply, hey, if I get a reply and we're not doing a show, I'll put out a little video and let you guys know what's said. The important thing is, and it's the top post in the community section, which of these are not true? Because these are all statements that have been put out by law enforcement, people that report on behalf of law enforcement, and that's it. Inconsistencies. What's true, what's not true. The public has a right to know Sebastian deserves better. So does the family. And everybody else. We're going to go in. Julia dropped a call. She dropped the call with Chris Proudfoot. We'll check that out in another show. I wanted to go through that, but I'm just going to keep it basically to what we were discussing tonight. I'm not going to listen. We could sit here and talk about all of the BS and the back and forth with every show, really, because it's like every day it's literally back and forth. But I just don't even care to discuss it, honestly. You see the, I don't know, just it's becoming, people wanted to compare it to Summer Wells within the first couple months, within the first couple months, people were, oh my gosh, the drama, and it's not as bad as Summer Wells, but it's looking like it's getting that way. And the BS has surpassed Summer Wells a long time ago. And you just sit here and it's like, oh my gosh, like, and we all thought Summer Wells was bad. This is way beyond. This is way beyond. Like, these are levels that I didn't even expect it to get to, and it's just unfortunate because when you pick a side, you know what I'm saying? When you pick a side, you automatically have biases. You automatically, and there shouldn't even be a side because there's not two of the same person. And when it's about Sebastian, it's about the victim. There's not a left and a right. It's one. There is no sides. There shouldn't be any sides. Because we should all have one main goal, and that's to find or uncover, or whatever case we're discussing or helping, or it's about one common goal. I just wish the immaturity would stop, because it's taken attention away. Think about all the people that don't even How many people used to be around and they're not anymore because of the toxicity that it brings when you're talking about a lot of the ugly souls, not only in the community out there, but also this particular case. You know, and that's a shame when somebody that really does care, that might be fragile, you know, because they're a victim too of whatever it may be. They're fragile as well, and they just want to help too, and they can't because of the immaturity and just the constant back and forth. And you know what I'm saying? And you saw somebody that's a part of this community, one of her loyal followers and panel members quit coming. You know what I mean? Because eventually it's just like, man, listen, there's some people out there that will continue to push all of these emotions because they want the dollar bill, you know? You know what? Let's just keep cha-chinging because it's about my benefit and it's not about my community. It's not about my community's mental health. It's not about my community's comfort. It's not about when the only reason that we can do what we do is because of community. It's bad customer service. You're ripping people off. It's bad customer service. Why should you know what I'm saying? When you go somewhere, it's supposed to help. It's supposed to there's meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? There's meaning to it. You want to help, you're helping. At the same time, your mental health is being protected as well. You know? That's why I never understood a lot of these other, because they will just ring the back and forth. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this person that did this to me and this and that. Back and forth, back and forth. It's fine to make a statement once in a while. We got to make a statement once in a while. But it's not something that we just continue to pull at heartstrings and make people try to feel sorry for us and cha-ching, and in the meantime, you're having to deal with people discuss a lot of ugly ass troll shit when if you just handled your business in the first place, there wouldn't be that much, you know? There's a lot of hurt people out there, and there's a lot of people that are using that against you. They're not worried about you. They're not worried about your mental health. I don't know how many times you can hear people complain about it. There will be somebody that wants to contribute. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want your ugly soul money. I don't. Like if this is who you are, I don't want your ugly soul money. I would rather, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would rather not have it than accept the ugly soulness of the person that no, it doesn't make sense. Just like the same reason, you know, where hell, there was somebody in that we were discussing it, me and the team earlier today. There was somebody from the very beginning of our program that literally would come in and drop $5 or $10 super chats and throw comments in there that would get the people in chat in an uproar, and I was the only one that was banning them from the show. And they're like, well, you know, I'd go to other shows. Yeah, CJ don't let me super chat. And it's like, because you you're not respectful, bro. Like, you're sitting there saying shit in these super chats that you know will cause a ruckus in the fucking community. Your ugly souledness bullshit ain't worth my community their mental health. It's why I protect the community so much here. I've done it from the beginning. I've said it from the beginning. You can go back to my shows in the beginning, and I'm sitting there telling you how much the community helped me when I made this, and how much I want to make sure that I give that back to you all. That's why I don't put up with a lot of shit. That's why there's a lot of people that talk shit about me out there on these airwaves. Make up shit, talk shit about me just because. It's like, no. Listen, man, I ain't got that time. I ain't got that much time on this planet. I want to make sure when I'm on my deathbed that I can sit there and say I did everything I absolutely could. And the only way that I know that I could say that on my deathbed is literally giving everybody more of myself than I expect in return. I know I can go to my deathbed that day, whenever it may be, and I can sit there and look up at the damn sky and go, you know what? I did everything that I effing could. That's the one thing that scares me and has scared me for a long time, and that's why I continue to be the kind of person that I am. Because I don't want to go to a deathbed. I've seen somebody on a deathbed and sit there and regret all of the things that they didn't, you know? The thing, oh, I wish I would have gave more for this, and I wish I would have tried more for that, and I wish I would have did this, and I watched it, and I'm like, no, that's not how I want to go. I want to sit there and go, you know what? And just close my eyes, because I know that I gave everything I could. That's what it's about. Because I know I ain't here that long. You know? I've already done the parent, they're blazing their own trail. I'm at this stage in my life where I have the opportunity to be able to go anywhere at any time if able, need be, and that's what I try and do. It isn't about me. I'm not sitting here. Any of these people that go up, that are out at these locations that I've been to and that I go to, when have I ever had personal time? When have I ever had time to do something fun? I never have. It's always been work, and because I've had my fun. You know what I mean? I had my fun back in the day. Right now, it's for other people, and that's just the way it is. That's why I can sit here and work 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 and not lose my shit, because I'm okay with it. Because I understand that there's some people that may not have this opportunity. There's something that is locking them into this location or doing all this other stuff. And, when I get that, and I'm in a position where I can literally go help whenever, if able. So why not? We'll go into that other stuff tomorrow night, though. I'm going to go hang out at the lounge tonight, and I'm going to go do some police sim for a little while. If you guys want to come over there and hang out, you're more than welcome. I'm going to go. I'm going to go play some of that for a little bit, kind of wind down. And then, like I said, tomorrow we're going to be going into the facts and foul play and the no facts and the no foul play. And until we hear something different when it comes to these questions that we're asking, it's the latest community post in the community section. You can literally copy, paste, and send it as well to any of the agencies that are involved in the investigation for the missing persons case. for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, because there needs to be a universal statement. There needs to be an updated statement. And if he really truly wasn't seen at a particular time in a particular location, because if there's no foul play, you can't say, oh, it's part of the investigation. Well, if there's no foul play, there should be no reason why the time and the location should be kept from the public. No foul play. Everybody needs to remember that, because they're protecting this person. I see all the comments. Yeah, they could be protecting this and this and this and this. But everybody needs to remember no foul play. There's no reason to keep a time. There's no reason to keep a location. Correct the information. Sebastian deserves better. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll be going through that. I might pop on in the daytime tomorrow, but I am going to go head over to the lounge and do some policing for a little while. So if you want to come over there, see you over there in a little bit here, maybe in about 20 minutes or so. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow over here discussing some more of this. And hopefully some of us, maybe one of us, will have an answer by then. I don't know, though. It's been a week. We ain't even got one yet. Not one of us. We'll see. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Missed you. Prayers for everybody out in California. And thank you for all the prayers during our situation over here. Really means everything. We'll see you.
Okay over there? Is your victim at the hospital? Someone shot there. Alright, do you see them take pictures of the police? Is it domestic related? She's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson, who's possibly with the daughter. That was it.
2412.
There's crazy someone's calling. So they have a female that are communicating. She's working with their neighbors. You're checking 12, check the check coming out.
6 Bravo, 217.
Officer still saying stop. No. Offender in custody. Anyone else involved with this real let me know. Where's 47?